Part 2. Crimson Flower. Great Tree Moon. Field of Revenge. With the capture of Aryan Road complete, the Imperial Army moves to invade the kingdom capital. They plot to send troops toward now vulnerable House Fraldarius territory and plan to attack Ferdiad from two sides.
So, Aryan Road has fallen. Rodrigue, I swear that I will not allow your death to be in vain.
The scouts have just now returned. Seems the Imperial Army is marching toward the kingdom capital. Are you certain about this, Dimitri? As king, do you think it wise to intercept them yourself?
No need to worry yourself. Even if I am defeated, the Blathed bloodline will live on. And the kingdom's territory has never been rich in resources. If the castle falls under siege, our loss is inevitable. I will deploy my army onto the plains and wait for the enemy. Please, position your forces so that they can flank the Imperial Army.
Yes. Given the present situation, making the plains our battlefield is a logical choice. I have no objection. However,
there is only one person I am after. I have no interest in any other prey.
I will take you at your word. Erasing the other child's existence is my task, and mine alone. I will get you back, Mother. I promise.
What do you think, Lady Edelgard? Will they shut themselves inside of Ferdiad?
They will try to intercept us. Of course, Ferdiad will not fall so easily. Even so, if we were to cut off their supply line with a large army, it would eventually fall. It makes much more sense for them to wager everything on a victory at the Tailtean Plains. The same plains where the so-called divine Seros defeated Nemesis, the King of Liberation, in a comeback victory over 1,000 years ago. And about 400 years ago, the hero Lugh created the kingdom by defeating the Emperor of the time on those very plains. Their goal must be to recreate that scene.
Yes, I suppose so. Although the Imperial Army is powerful, if we were to compare the strength of our best to the best of the Knights of Seros, we would likely come up short. The Kingdom's army and House Blathed are also renowned for their unmatched persistence. On the battlefield, it can be assumed that their one and only goal will be to strike you down.
Are you telling me to stay off the battlefield?
Naturally. You are their aim, Your Majesty. You must know it only makes sense to keep you out of their reach.
And you must know that, at a time like this, I absolutely cannot withdraw.
Of course I know that. That is why I will refrain from asking you again to stay away from the battlefield.
The Immaculate One, descendants of the 10 elites, and other extremely fearsome foes await us. But with the help of our friends, we have a chance of defeating them. We're the only ones who can. Within our group, I am included among those with the kind of strength we need to win. I absolutely will not remove myself from the front lines. Professor, you have that same strength as well, whether or not you realize it yet. As Emperor, I must not die in this war, and it would be unacceptable to lose you as well. Until the very end, we'll survive this trial together. Understood?
I could use a hand.
How about?
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
Professor. I see. Ah, did you want something? Sorry, I was a bit lost in thought. Or rather, I was thinking about work. My brother had sorted out all his personal affairs, but apparently he'd forgotten about his work duties. So now I've got a ton more work on my plate. Oh, brother, why must you be so careless? Once this war is over, I'm gonna take a vacation and get some well-earned rest, back home with my mother. Professor!
Oh, I love.
Yeah.
They used to call my father the Shield of Fargus. Now he's gone, and Aryan Road has fallen. Yet the Knights of Seros remain, as does the Boar. What terrifies me most is his stubbornness. He'll keep on fighting to the last man. He's a monster. I've seen it firsthand. All right, next. All right, next. You fought well. One to remember. One to remember.
Your death is not in vain. For the fate of Fodlan. fate of Fodlan. For the fate of Fodlan. I do not tolerate obstacles. Let's keep up the pace. For the fate of Fodlan. Let's keep up the pace. Your death is not in vain. The only possible outcome. Your death is not in vain. For the fate of Fodlan. For the fate of Fodlan. I do not tolerate. Let's keep up the pace. Let's keep up the pace. The only possible outcome. You're weak. Is that all? I do not tolerate the only possible outcome.
Hey there. Is this it? There you go. Come back anytime.
Welcome. This one? Thank you. This one? Thank you. This one? Thank you. This one? This one?
Thank you.
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 This one?
Thank you. Please come again.
Hey there. Come back anytime.
Welcome. Please come again.
Hey there. Come back anytime.
Welcome.
This one?
Thank you.
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 This one?
Thank
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you.
This one? This one?
Thank you.
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 This one?
Thank
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you. Please come again.
Professor? Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. The time has finally come to set out for the kingdom capital, Ferdiad. I thought the same thing last month, but I still can't believe the plan was to ambush Aryan Road. I know it couldn't be helped, but even I wasn't let in on the secret. Me! Not gonna lie, that hurt a little. Well, let's forget about that. I'm praying for your victory and your safe return.
Professor!
Professor, the War of Fodlan Unification is finally reaching its climax! I must surpass myself in the struggle to come if Her Majesty is to recognize my power. But don't you see, your presence would diminish the grandeur of my achievements. The culmination of all my studies, all my magical experiments, shall be unleashed in battle!
So, it's finally time to take on Ferdiad. Can't wait to get in there and show him what I'm made of. Hopefully I get a go at that Dimitri guy before all is said and done. They say he has inhuman strength, yeah? Best way to find out is to throw fists with the guy. He may be the Tempest King of Ferdiad, but I'm the Grappling King of the world! My domain is way bigger. Grab a front row seat if you can manage. These arms of mine will knock some sense back into that towhead of his.
Man, word is, Garreg Mach's starting to look like a real town again. With the Empire winning one battle after another, it seems like the end to the war is finally in sight. There's hope for recovery now, even for Abyss.
If we win this next battle, it won't just be a victory against the kingdom, but also the church. Maybe they'll all die. Even the people from the church who lied to me and locked me up. I don't care either way. If they died, I would say, well, that happened, and move on. I don't owe them my compassion. They've never shown me any.
Seems like a lot of people from House Road died in Aryan Road. I know Edelgard is saying it's the Church's fault, and she hasn't been shy to express that. But that doesn't seem right to me. You should ask Edelgard or Hubert. They'd know more than I do. Some think that all we have to do is take down Ferdiad to end the war. But I don't think it's quite that simple.
I hear there was a pretty spectacular battle up there recently, but we don't hear a lot about that stuff. There was a lot of talk when it first started, but 5 years on, it's just a fact of life. What? There have been lots of battles on the surface recently? I hadn't heard. See what I mean?
you so much.
I am grateful.
Thanks so much.
Much appreciated.
Claude was known as the master tactician. There wasn't a situation he couldn't strategize his way out of. Whereas King Dimitri is known as the Tempest King. He is a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. We still haven't ever faced him head-on. Can we do this? Yes, of course we can. I'm sorry. I let my uncertainty get the better of me. We have you, and we have Edelgard. Not to mention many other allies we can rely upon. Together, we can overcome even the most formidable foe.
Rumor has it, King Dimitri is always accompanied by a man from Dusker with a terrifying face. And what's more, this man is said to be so huge, he's often mistaken for a bear.
Okay.
When I first enrolled in the Officers' Academy, I never thought it would come to this. I can't believe we're waging war. Against the church, no less. Yes, of course. Even if our enemy is Lady Rhea herself, I am prepared to fight.
So, I hear that House Blathid commands some strong and well-trained troops. People say they're fiercely devoted, and will gladly die for their king. Reminds me of Lenato's men, the ones we faced back in Magdrid. Unlike those civilian soldiers, though, here we're up against the best that the Fargus army has to offer. It's going to be a hard battle, but if there's a peaceful tomorrow waiting on the other side, it'll be worth it.
Pardon me. I have a fiancée back home, and I promised her I'd come back alive. No matter how tough the fight gets, I won't die. I have to survive and make it back to her.
If we win this battle, it will be an end to the kingdom and to the church. Under the Empire, an era of peace would begin. Many people are cleaving to this notion, but I wonder if it would really end up as such. Such resolve. It's convincing to say the least. I wonder, was the collapse of Aryan Road really the church's doing? Or could it be that... Never mind me. Just thinking aloud.
I'm sure my father will be waiting in Ferdiad. If I can avoid it, I'd rather not fight him. But I don't think my father is capable of betraying the royal family. Of betraying Dimitri. I must be prepared to do what I have to. Right. Professor, let's make sure we win.
Professor! What should I do? Everyone's acting like this is leading up to the final chapter in a book or something. Is the battle ahead really going to be that climactic? Am I not taking it seriously enough? You think so? Alright, I believe you. I'm ready for this. I am. Yeah, we're going to win!
What do you say? I've been thinking about how we've got our own ideas about justice, and so does the kingdom. And what's coming? It's not just a battle between us and them. It's our ideals that are fighting. Whoever wins will say they were right, and the other side was wrong. And I get it, that's how it goes. But nobody's willing to talk or compromise, so we'll fight to the death to prove the other guy's wrong. It won't be an easy battle, but let's make sure we come back alive. Right, Professor?
There's some...
Professor.
We will do a beautiful job, I am sure.
I'll do it. That was...
This should prove useful.
Growth
I suppose it's... Professor.
Professor.